Hey guys, happy Friday. It is Friday, right? Okay, anyway, it is time for another session of The Rogue Hour with Norman. I am Norman, and this week we are back to Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so I'm going to pause to let everybody who just sighed because we're doing Dungeons and Dragons sign off. Oh, wait. Whatever. Bye. Go. It's the OG. Anyway. So, I know we are supposed to be discussing Druids tonight, and I promise we are going to be discussing Druids tonight. So, get your character sheets ready, and no, we are not going to debate which wild form is best. But, now I know I don't do this very often, but I gotta get this. Okay, so this thing happened this morning. When I woke up, the first thing I noticed was the smell in my apartment. It was cinnamon dough. My apartment never smells like that because I live alone and I do not bake. Anyway, yeah. Once I realized I was basically smelling sticky buns, I realized my head was pounding. No, not pounding, but throbbing, like somebody was playing tennis in it. Like the fucking Williams sisters were playing tennis inside my skull, inside my brain, and I'm like, sticky buns? Brain exploding, sticky buns. Maybe I'm having an aneurysm, or maybe I'm having a stroke, or maybe just, what? Toast? Oh, yeah, two outrageous orcs. No, I know that they say you smell burnt toast when you're having a stroke, but I was trying to make a joke. Oh, God. Okay, let's be honest. Everybody loves sticky buns. Everybody wants sticky buns. And for a second, I didn't even care how sticky buns magically out of nowhere, poof, arrived in my apartment because I got hungry. So I got out of bed. Slowly. Maybe because my brain would burst, and I stumbled across the clothes on my floor. Were they my clothes? And I don't remember those shoes. Then again, there was that year where I made that awesome paycheck and I bought all those fabulous shoes that I always forget to wear or refuse to because they're just too nice. Anyway, I stumbled across the room and into the hall, and instead of heading straight to the bathroom like I do every day, every single day since I can remember, and then back to my closet to get dressed, this time in a sweater vest and khakis because it's Friday, and I always wear a sweater vest and khakis on Friday because I am predictable and boring. Because it's safe to be boring. Safer. No, this time instead I made a beeline for... What? Yeah. Of course I still get dressed every day. I mean, I don't care if it's lockdown. I still gotta walk my dog a couple times a day, and there are Zoom meetings, and I have to run errands, and I pick up different Lego sets once a month because they keep me busy, and yeah, I get dressed every day. So, I made a beeline straight for the kitchen and found a plate of sticky buns sitting on the counter. I wasn't imagining it. Oh my God, there was so much cinnamon in the air. I have never smelled so much cinnamon at once. And there was this drizzle, like this perfect, creamy, white, cheesy drizzle all over them. And oh, sorry. I've never found a plate of sticky buns in my kitchen in all my life. Never. Not until now. Not even my mother could. Oh, God. Okay, my mother was a terrible cook, and I guess that's where I got it from. One year, she made this pot roast, and somebody had given her a recipe that used beer and beef tenderizer. But she forgot to ask how much beer and beef tenderizer, so she used all of it, and while it was cooking for hours, my parents had an argument over the fact that my father didn't like pot roast, and she called him ungrateful, and he stormed out, and she cried as she pulled it out of the oven and cut it up, served it to me and my brother, who tried to eat it. We tried so hard, oh my God, but it was so salty. So salty. We couldn't fake it, so she cried some more. And then she threw it out. But she made us promise to never tell my father how disgusting it was. It was a really long time ago. Feels like yesterday when I'm talking about it, though, you know? Anyway, cinnamon buns were definitely out of Mom's area of expertise, even the ones that come in a can. Now, I've only ever had cinnamon buns at a restaurant or waiting for a train at Penn Station. Or that one time I went over to my friend Robert's for brunch and he made us all homemade sticky buns from scratching. That was a joke he used to tell. What? No, Dog Mom 49. My mom does not need a good pot roast recipe. Thank you. We don't even speak anymore, her and I. It's been 6 years? Maybe 7. We used to be really close when I was growing up. Honestly, you'd think that she wanted me to be gay. I mean, she took me to Bette Midler concerts. Our house was pink. She took me out of school early for community theater auditions. But eventually, I guess it all got a little too real for her. And then she met my stepfather. Don't even get me started on that hot mess of a man. So, here we are. I'm here and she's there, and everything in between us is lava. Let's save that for another time, though, because that's probably like a whole episode, and we've got druids to talk about, right? I know Druid Danny 1986 is probably going to unfollow me and leave this chat if I don't get to D&D soon. So, okay. This loser spinster gamer queen, me, I needed to know where did these sticky, gooey, creamy, cheesy, cinnamony, and yes, that is a word I have decided. I just invented it. You're welcome. You can use it. Where do these cinnamony, sticky buns come from? Maybe I came out here and put on the original Sweet Charity vinyl because I'm in a little bit of a a bit of a Sweet Charity phase. You all know the only thing besides gaming that interests me is musicals, right? Because I'm gay. But did you know that I'm so gay I actually reenact the numbers in my apartment for Marvin, my cat? This particular week, I had been working on learning all of Charity's soliloquy, but I don't think after midnight, I wouldn't do that to my neighbors. So maybe I was sleepwalking or... Oh my God, for a second. Okay, don't judge me, but okay, maybe I slept walk and slept baked and slept ate because everybody sleeps eats, right? Or like we pretend we sleep eat. I mean, everybody gets a midnight snack sometimes, except for maybe the Hemsworth brothers. But it happens. Okay, one time someone in my house ate half a jar of peanut butter. I never did find out who, because I live alone. If there's cheese, which there almost always is, it's cheese. But you can't just have cheese, right? I mean, you can. Of course you can. But obviously the cheese is better. No, not better, just more enjoyable, more satisfying with crackers and depending on the cheese, maybe some kind of a jam. Or maybe if it's a particularly epic kind of midnight snack, you opt for some meat, some salami, or, oh God, prosciutto. Yeah. Anyway, for a split second, I even wondered if Marvin had spent the night making sticky buns because he just got sick of knocking all of my shit off the dresser while I slept. You know, maybe it was Marvin with absolutely no opposable thumbs, but who knows? Like, maybe you don't actually need opposable thumbs to make sticky buns, or maybe there was actually a cute little chubby doughboy named Pillsbury hiding somewhere in my apartment. Obviously, none of these actually made any sense. First of all, I don't eat too late in the evening because I've got acid reflux and everybody knows you wind up eating while you're baking, and I don't eat first thing in the morning because acid reflux. Plus, I don't sleepwalk. I'm 100% sure about that. I think. And Marvin obviously cannot make sticky buns without opposable thumbs, and if there were a cute little chubby doughboy named Pillsbury hiding somewhere, believe me, I would know about it. Hi, I'm Norman, single since 2016, the Stone Age. My direct messages are open, gentlemen. Start your engines. I would absolutely know if there were any boy hanging around this place. Okay? The window is open, too. I never leave the window open when I sleep. It's New York City and I'm paranoid. What the? Don't. I have anxiety. Anyway, the window was open and there was a breeze blowing through my hair, and I guess that was what was sending the cinnamon down the hall. But I would have closed it. I know I would have closed the window. I always close the window. A few years ago, I was living in Queens, a tiny little studio in Woodside, on the ground floor. Enough room for me and Marvin and my books and my desktop and my TV and this little kitchen where I unplugged the stove so I'd have somewhere to store more books because there was a microwave and that's all I really needed. Ground floor. I always close the window. I thought I heard something in the bathroom. The shower was on, most definitely. That roared. Distant, but a roar. I am awfully proud of the water pressure in my apartment and the shower head. It's pretty spectacular, I'm not gonna lie. It's got 8 settings, only $80 on Amazon too. I'll put the link in the comments section after the episode so you can get one yourself. I'm telling you, that shit is worth it. Sorry. Anyway, okay, so I stopped myself from stuffing a sticky bun into my mouth because everybody knows it's harder to eavesdrop when you're chewing, and I heard something else. The shower curtain. The metal rings on the metal rod screaming like a drag queen whose wig was on fire. I grabbed a spatula. Well, no. First, I put down a sticky bun I didn't remember grabbing because it must have flown into my hand like magic, and then I grabbed a spatula. I thought it was a knife. I meant to grab a knife. Maybe if it had been something a little more deadly like a rolling pin, Murder by Martha Stewart, maybe that would have been better, but a spatula? It was too late, though. Before I could grab a knife, I heard something else. The faucet turning off. He was getting out. Or she, who could tell? And then, just as I started getting closer with the fucking stupid spatula in my hand, he started singing. Okay, now I've got to confess something, and I don't want any lectures, okay? Seriously. Especially you, Mini Mom 11. No lectures. I stopped. Dead in my tracks, I stopped to, listen. A mental Shazam. What song was it? I knew it. It was familiar. When you stop dead in your tracks because something or some song or even a smell, it just suddenly reminds you of something or someone. God, I hadn't heard a man singing in a long time. Not since Mark. And this one? God, he used to sing it in the shower all the time. I always told him he had to learn something new, anything new. What? Oh, sorry, Ocean Teeth 29. I forgot, you're new. Mark's my ex. Yeah. For all the newbies in the room, Mark is the ex. No, I'm not telling you what happened. If you really want to know, you can message Bex24 and she'll tell you all the tea because she loves to gossip and she knows I won't get mad. Mark left, maybe 2 weeks before everything really started locking down. I mean, we'd been separated for ages, but neither of us could afford to move, and the apartment had 2 bedrooms, so I guess you could call it a comedy. Anyway, Mark was the only ex I'd ever had who actually sang Yentl in the shower. His papa was dead, and I promise you, he could still hear Mark. But this was different. On pitch. Different. And as I was standing there waiting for the big note, just a piece of, the bathroom door swings open and the mysterious baker steps out. I've got my spatula raised, ready to attack, thanking God I don't have to roll a die to do it when he steps out of the bathroom and comes into focus. The night before comes into focus. I met up with a bunch of friends. Okay, acquaintances to celebrate, celebrate Robert. He died of COVID a few months back, but none of us could gather, obviously, so it was the first night out in 11 months. The first frozen margaritas in 11 months. The first piano bar in 11 months. The first, my name is, and I'd like to buy you a drink in 11 months. No, that's a lie. Sure, Mark had bought drinks and had drinks bought for him while I was sitting at home waiting for him to get in, making dinner and waiting, but this was my first, my name is, and I'd like to buy you a drink in 11 years. That's how long we'd been together, Mark and I. 11 years. Anyway. The first thing I recognized were his shoulders. and then his eyes, and then that little bit of stubble I didn't see until he took off his mask the night before. "Well, good morning, little prince," he said. Little prince. I should have been insulted, but I remembered Robert. He was such a nice guy. Must have been in his 70s. Anyway, he worked for the Times in the billing department, I think, till he retired a few years ago. I saw him a lot at the piano bar I love downtown, and he was always singing this song called Ring Them Bells because he loved Liza Minnelli, and he loved weddings, and he especially loved gay weddings because he never thought he'd live to see them. Don't expect much from me, I would say. I'm going to die an old maid, Robert. And Robert always said, all little princes almost always turn out to be great men, and great men always find love. And you, my dear, are a wonderful little prince. Almost, I said the first time he told me. Little princes almost always turn out to be great men. It became part of our shtick, I guess. I'd say, without missing a beat, almost. Almost, we'd say, together. What's that spatula for? Just use your fingers, silly. Sticky buns are supposed to be messy. Oh, my God. Norman? He said. I was just standing there, frozen to the spot in my boxer shorts, holding a fucking spatula in the air. Robert? No. He was too young and alive. Have you tried one yet? He asked as I shook my head, stunned and confused, but mostly stunned. Well, go try one, silly, and I'll get dressed. I laughed, and maybe I blushed or batted an eyelash, or maybe I just snorted and I started to head to the kitchen where I heard him say, "It's Uncle Bob's recipe. He said you loved him." It wasn't Robert who made the sticky buns. It was Bobby, his nephew. One of these days, I'm going to introduce you to my Bobby baby. You'll see. Somebody who truly loves you, truly wants you, somebody who deserves you. That's what Robert said the last time I saw him before everything shut down, before time stopped, and he got COVID. I've told him all about you, my little prince. I walked back into the kitchen. The cinnamon wasn't nearly as strong anymore. It hadn't gone completely, though. I picked up the sticky bun. I raised it to my mouth. I bit down and I moaned. I actually moaned. So much time has gone by. I don't know if you feel it. I'm sure you feel it. I feel it. All that time wasted. For some of us, I guess. Maybe other people found ways to make it matter, but I spent so much of this crazy pandemic sitting around getting lost in games and Stranger Things and YouTube and Twitch with all of you, and yeah, waiting for change instead of creating it. They're delicious, Bobby, I yelled as he came round the corner, pulling a t-shirt on over his head. You know, I almost forgot how good these were. Almost, he said back without missing a beat. Almost, we said. Together. Anyway, sorry. I know that was like a lot, but whatever. Okay, and yes, Druid Danny, 1986. I am moving on now. Okay, so we're going to be using the core book tonight, Twitches, 5th edition. I guess this is why Danny is so excited. We are going to be talking about, drumroll, Druids. So, get those 5th editions out. Let's turn to page 100.